We are back to filming in my plant room. I hope it doesn't sound too echoey in here now that the carpet's out. I was worried about how it would sound with filming. I do have all the plants back in here, so hopefully it's okay. I'm Melissa if you're new here, and today we are going to film my June favorites. And I'm not going to say obsessed like I did 30 plus times in the last favorites video. Yeah, so I'm going to be more mindful about saying that. So I'm going to get started here with our first plant, and I hope you enjoy. Also, this is in no particular order. I'm just pulling plants that are my favorites this month. So I don't have one that's like a favorite over the other. And I'm going to start off with one of the newer plants that I got recently because it gave me a new leaf. And it's beautiful. It's right here. This is the Anthurium Roy Elsmaralda. This is the new leaf it just gave me. She is beautiful. For those that don't know, my last queen did not make it, unfortunately, and I missed having one. Like a day later, I'm like, I need a queen in my life. This one I immediately fell in love with. I have not heard of an Elsmaralda. She's beautiful. This leaf is pretty big too. Like this is my head. It's a pretty big leaf. She does have two original leaves. This one here and this one here. This one has a little bit of yellowing, probably just from shipping stress and adjusting to my space. I have beneficial mites on this plant. I can see them. They're probably gone now. I don't think they're still alive. And she's still in the moss and perlite substrate. I haven't decided what I want to do with this plant as far as repotting her and what substrate. So I'm just letting her hang out in this mix until I can figure it out. This new leaf is absolutely beautiful in my care, so I'm hoping it continues to do well. I feel like this dries out pretty quickly, especially in my environment, so I don't know. I don't know what kind of substrate, what kind of medium I want to do for her. I'm worried that if I leave it, I might cause some like watering stress, but I don't know. I feel like it's still hardening a little bit because those are very dark green versus her. She's still pretty light. So I feel like she could expand a little bit more, possibly. I have heard that these are a little bit more easy compared to the regular Warocquanum, so we shall see. So far, I feel like she's been doing really well acclimating. Again, I think the only thing is just figuring out what substrate to do her in. So yeah, but definitely one of my favorites this month because of this leaf. I think probably within like the last week or so, she spit this out, but she is beautiful. I love her. I cannot get enough of my Roy. I know I featured this plant over and over again. It just goes to show you how much I truly adore this plant. It just gave me a new leaf recently, right here. Look at that color. Stunning. And it's growing pretty weird just because the grow light is more up ahead. So I have some leaves that are like wanting to face that way. I need to train the leaves a little bit to grow kind of more forward. I may end up moving this plant over here and make room, maybe somewhere on the floor. So now that I have flooring, I can actually sit plants on the floor so that the leaves will turn towards the forward facing grow light and not be so weird and misshapen. I was trying to take a photo of it and I'm like, you can't really even see the leaves that much because of the way that she's growing. So I have to turn it like that and then they just kind of look weird. So I want it like growing all forward. So I think I might move her, but these leaves are sizing up so well. That's another newish leaf as well as that one here. Beautiful, beautiful. This one is definitely still hardening, so it might get a little bit bigger. And this was the latest leaf, the one that's kind of curled around back. So it's weird because this is the newest one, but it's down here and these other ones came in before. I'm really excited for this one to get bigger and grow like some of my bigger poles. It's attaching really well into here and it's doing well so far. I feel like it really loves this space. These are some of the original leaves down here. When I first got the plant, it had I think 4 tiny leaves. I took a picture of it, so I will put it here, what it looked like when I got it. And immediately it like, I think the first leaf was a little bit small. I think it was this one that it gave me. And then the next leaf jumped up to here. It was already a huge increase in size. And this was the next leaf here that was even bigger. And then it was this one here, which is even bigger. That one, and now the newest one. It's definitely continuing to size up and do really well. So I feel like it's happy, which is a good thing. It did have spider mites on it at one point, but they are gone. And yeah, I'm definitely going to keep up with the beneficials because I want them to stay away. It has sap, so it's sticky on the back of the leaves. You can see the extra floral nectaries. You see the sap there? So it's sticky, and especially on the front too, where they come through on the front. If you accidentally touch it, it just gets a little sticky. So definitely a beautiful plant. I'm excited for it. I feel like it's somewhat of a slow-ish, not super slow, but I feel like it doesn't climb as fast as some of my other ones back there. But I feel like it's done pretty well since the time that I've had it. I feel like it's given me 4, 5, 6 leaves now, I believe. So maybe like a leaf a month, I would say, which is a little bit slower than some of my other phylos. So I love Sorderoy. I can't wait for even more growth. I would highly recommend getting one if you don't have one, if you've been looking at it. It's been really easy going so far, and yeah, I feel like it's beautiful and an easy philodendron. It's not picky at all. So I highly recommend. Next up is this gorgeous, beautiful Synapsis. This is a Jade Satin. It is gorgeous. I think this is probably my favorite Synapsis. I like my Exotica, but these dark leaves are just everything. They're beautiful. I recently propped it. I did a whole like Synapsis series where I repotted them all, did a bunch of props, did a little propagation experiment, added props in. So she has filled out a little bit more on top, and some of those props are starting to grow, but some of them haven't grown yet. You can see there's some new leaves up top here. I have lost some props though. The original leaves died off, but I'm hoping there's still the nodes that are left in the soil that they'll reshoot in some time. But the original propagated leaf just yellowed off and fell off. But she's beautiful. I can't wait to have this plant get really full and trail down. I want to cover up this green pot. I also just got the variegated one from that import that I did recently. Once it acclimates and kind of situates, I hope that one can do well and grow. Could you imagine a variegated one of this? How beautiful would that be? And it has some good color, I thought, so I can't wait to pot that one up and have it grow. But this one is gorgeous. If you don't have a Synapsis Jade Satin, definitely get one. Look at those leaves. They're beautiful. I feel like it's not a super picky one compared to some of the others. I feel like my Truby Moonlight is probably my most picky Synapsis, as well as the Platinum is a little bit pickier, but this one is pretty easygoing. So I highly recommend if you don't have one. Just so easy and so beautiful. The next plant is one that I'm just so happy that it's growing back. I have this one here, and this is the mama plant right here. Look! This is my Maranta Curciovanna, and this time last year it was one big pot. It was huge, it was beautiful, it was doing so well. All of a sudden it just started not doing well. It didn't really grow. I didn't know what was going on. I just figured like, uh-oh, maybe it just doesn't like something in the care that I'm providing for it. I didn't really know until I discovered that it had flat mites, and it completely died back, pretty much, this whole thing. I did in a video, I chopped all the growth back and she is re-emerging. This was another prop from her that I did, and this one is growing back beautifully. I even have some blooms coming in on this one here, and right here in front there's another bloom that's about to come in. But look at her. Look at how beautiful. So this one I keep in my bathroom, and again, this one was like completely cut back down to nothing. So this one is loving life in my bathroom, and this one I keep in my bedroom. I kind of have like a separate quarantined area for some plants that did have flat mites to kind of recover. The lemon lime that's in my bathroom has done like the best, I feel like. And you know, it didn't catch flat mites is probably why. But yeah, the rest of my Marantas took kind of a big hit. But I am so happy that I at least have this one that is growing back so well. I just can't wait. I think I'm just gonna keep them as separate plants. I have one more prop that hasn't really started growing yet, just like this one. And I have some more cuttings that are in water. So I'll probably pot those two together, but then I'll have like these two. So then I'll have 3 of them. But yeah, I'll probably keep them growing as separate plants. Out of all the plants, this one has been the biggest, I guess the biggest, happiest moment, I guess, is having, you guys know how much I love Maranta, and having my Maranta grow back has been amazing. Yeah, I'm just so happy that she's growing back, and I love her, and those leaves are gorgeous. So beautiful. I'm just so happy that I have my Maranta growing back. I'm gonna be filming a planty update for you all later this week to give you an update kind of on my collection and plants that I've recently like potted up or repotted, just to kind of fill you in on how everyone is doing. And I'm really excited to do this one. And this leaf popped out recently, which made me fall in love with this Alocasia. I got this Alocasia, this is my Jacqueline, back in January. And it came down with a fungal issue, I believe. And I honestly don't really know for sure what happened to it. And it made me really sad. I cut all the leaves off. I think I had 3. And I left one on, which is this one. You can see it's a little yellow. Not really sure what was going on again with it. But I did treat it with a fungicide, and I didn't want to completely cut all the leaves off of this one, but it just gave me a new leaf this week. And look at it, you guys. Look at that leaf. Is that not beautiful or what? And look at the back side. I currently have it rooting in stratum. I took it out of soil because it just didn't seem to be doing well with the fungal issue. So it's rooting nicely. Now the issue that I'm gonna have is when it comes time to pot this plant up out of stratum, what am I going to pot her in? I was thinking about either just back in soil or trying pon out, but I don't know if I'm gonna like pon. I currently have 2 Alocasia in pon that I recently did. So far so good with those, but again, I don't know if it's even a substrate that I will like. So I don't want to go crazy and pot a bunch of Alocasia into it in case I don't like it. I'm just kind of testing it out with a few and just seeing how it goes. And if I end up liking it and I hear Alocasia love pon, I might consider putting this one in pon. But I'm gonna let this one live in stratum for probably at least a couple more months. It'll probably outgrow this little container, so I'm gonna pot it into a bigger one when it comes time, because they tend to dry out pretty quickly. It doesn't look like a lot of roots, but I'm telling you, there are a ton of roots in stratum that you can't see because it's so dark. But when I go to, if I were to like lift this out of here and rinse the root system off, there would be a ton of roots. And it's starting to coil on the bottom, so she'll probably need a bigger pot soon. But I don't have this one in my cabinet or anything. I have it on the shelf beside me. So it's under a Barina light, but just that increase in leaf size, like that big jump, and it's healthy. It doesn't have any kind of fungal issue, because that's what I was worried about too with this one, spreading because of that one. But I love Alocasia Jacqueline. That is such a cool, unique leaf. So very happy that she is growing again and seems happy. I'm just like glad whatever was wrong with her seems to be gone, knock on wood. I'll definitely keep you updated on how she continues to do, and yeah, I'm excited for more growth. Let me take this little bag clip off so I can show you our next favorite. This is a Philodendron Florta Beauty, and she is beautiful. Gorgeous plant. I love my Florida Ghost too. It's hard to pick a favorite between these two because I love my variegated plant. So this is not the Florida Beauty that I featured on my channel a long time ago, last year sometime. I had an original Florida Beauty that was a cutting, and all the growth on it was green. I did not get any variegation. And so I chopped it completely back, and I still have it. I did not get any variegation to continue. It is all green. This is actually the one that I got as an import last summer from Root Greenhouse. I am gonna make an updated import video on all of the imports that I got last summer, because I want to have like them all featured in one video just to update on them all. But this one is the one from Root Greenhouse, and look at those leaves, you guys. Look at how beautiful. I think this one is my favorite. This is the second newest one here. It's hard to show you, but look at that color. So pretty. This is the newest one. The leaves again are I'm trying to get it facing forward. I've been using this elastic string to kind of help me tie and reposition some of the vines, but this one I need to get like turning this way so that they're all kind of forward more. This is the newest one that unfurled. There is one slither of variegation up here on the little tail, and that was all the newest one gave me. It did give me a couple all green leaves, like this one was all green. This one is broken here, but it's all green. And there's another all green one here, one of the smaller ones. Yeah, I was worried it was gonna revert because it was giving me a lot of all green, but then it finally like stabilized after this all green one. Here, it gave me these three big, beautiful variegated ones were like the next. And this is a half moon, like look at that. Look how gorgeous. So then it's doing like mostly green. So we'll see, hopefully I continue to get some good color. The stem still looks nicely variegated on it. It's kind of how you can tell. It's hard to make out on the Florida Beauty, but you can still see variegation on the stem. So it makes me think that it's still going to continue. I don't have this one getting any certain kind of light. It just kind of gets more ambient light in my plant room. It's sitting on the floor right now on a plant stand. I do have it on a small Thiccly pole, and it is rooting into the pole here nicely. And the last set of node is here, so I'll be extending at some point here. But I love the leaf shape. Just such a beautiful plant. I love it. And so easygoing. Philodendron Floridas to me are just so easy. My Florida Ghost is so easy. This one, I just feel like all the Philodendron Floridas are just, again, like an easygoing philodendron. The only thing that I would say is, again, the spider mite factor for me with a lot of philodendron in my collection. But yeah, it's definitely been a favorite this month because those leaves are beautiful. I love all of my moss pools. I love them so much. But I do want to show you two that have been more of my favorite this month. The first one I don't want to talk about too much just because I recently chopped her and extended her, but it's my Philodendron Splendid. You guys, she's doing so well since her chop. If you have not seen it, I will link it. It's the video before this one, or two videos before this one. This is the newest leaf. Look how beautiful. I just like that light green pop of color, that veining. The backside is gorgeous. Look at that lime green. Stunning. And it's pushing a new leaf already. I chopped her, it has been, what, a week I would say, and she's already just doing so well. She didn't even get phased, you guys, at all. I don't see any wilting, any yellowing, nothing. It's like, I don't know, she took it like a champ, which I was not expecting at all. I have done my best to keep the moss hydrated though, you know, so she didn't dry out. But this leaf has me, this one here. Such a gorgeous phyllo, so easygoing. The one that resembles it here is the Glorious, but you can see how different they are, it's kind of side by side. The veining is more white on the Glorious because it is a hybrid of the Gloriosum. You can just see the difference with the two. It's hard to pick a favorite, it really is, because they're so different. They're alike, but they're so different. But I would say right now this one is my favorite. The next pole that I've been obsessing over lately that I'm very, very due to extend is my Varicosum right here in front. Beautiful. It's working on a couple new leaves here and here. Look at that one. So very overdue for an extension. This one isn't even growing into anything. It's just up in the air. This is on Thiccly's medium 2.0 pole. So I'm going to add another layer on. And look at those leaves. Gorgeous. And the back side, look at that red color. Has the cutest fuzzy petioles. Varicosum has been a struggle for me to grow, I'm not gonna lie. This is the best my Varicosum has ever looked. It had really small leaves for a very long time and it just didn't do well. But I finally have it happy, and I really think that the reason is just being extra roots that are inside of the pole that's helping this plant climb and to encourage bigger leaves. I think when I add the fourth extension on, I'm going to add a stake to the back of it, and I'm definitely gonna have to change her pot. I have her in, I think that is a 4-inch, I believe. So I'm gonna have to upgrade because I don't really have a ceramic that fits her pot-wise. And if she gets any taller, she's gonna become unsteady if I don't have like a stable base. So I'll have to figure something out with that. Oh, so gorgeous. The last one is this little cutie that I just got, because ever since I got it, I can't stop staring at it, you guys. I literally cannot. It is so gorgeous. It is a Maranta Light Veins. Look at her. I know I just unboxed her, but I can't stop looking at her. It is gorgeous. This might be my new favorite Maranta in my collection, especially once it gets bigger. I think it's the veining. I don't know, all that stripe on the leaves. So pretty. So I have not taken her out of here yet. I will. She's still in the tiny, I gave her some water though. I'm thinking I might do it this week sometime. I feel like I just wanted to give her a little bit more time to adjust, just because I just unboxed her and I don't want her to like shock and get angry at me. But yeah, I'm just keeping a very close eye. I think she'll do okay for a few more days, but I will upsize her soon. Gorgeous. I just can't say enough good things about Marantas. I love them. It is beautiful. A very expensive, pricey little plant, but I love her. So happy with the purchase, so happy. I feel like this month has been kind of like this weird transitional month because we got the flooring in here, and then it was just like a lot of moving plants around. I got some new plants with the imports and everything too. So I haven't had too much time to like reflect on my own collection that much. I know I have a lot of plant care and repotting and all sorts of stuff to do. I've definitely had a lot of like plant issues and sad plants too. So I'm excited to kind of get them back growing happy and healthy again and to just like fall in love with them over again. It's sad when you have plants that aren't doing well or, you know, something just happened like my Alocasia collection. So I'm definitely excited for that. I'm excited for more growth like always. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below and yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Oh, wait, before you go, Luna just came in. Hi. Hi, babies. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, my love. What you doing? You smell like outside. Stay warm. All right, bye guys.